What's up, fuckers? In this week's NFL review, I have added a few new awards and features that I think you're all going to enjoy. Let's begin. Eagles versus Rams. The game began with John Stafford throwing a terrible interception, which means LA needs to bench him for Jimmy Garoppolo immediately. Here's Jalen Hurts scoring on a play that any team can run at any time, but they aren't good enough to do it like Hurts, so they complain about how it's not fair and then blame the refs for not calling offsides penalties, which makes it even dumber that their own teams don't run it, but the level of cope gives me a boner. Stafford ripped off a gorgeous deep ball to Davante Adams, blatant offensive pass interference not called, to put LA up 10-7. Hurts then showed off his unrivaled toughness by taking this blitz sack, so hot. The Rams' red zone offense struggled all game, having to settle for a bunch of field goals, which kept Philly in striking distance. In the second half, Hurts got leveled in strip sack, which LA promptly scored off of to go up 26-7, and all the Hurts haters were out in full force, but Philly's offense finally got going after Hurts fired Kevin Patullo on the sideline and started calling his own plays. In the blink of an eye, Philly cut it to 26-14, got the ball back and scored again on another Hurts touchdown pass to make it 26-21 going into the fourth. Both teams turned it over on downs before LA had a short field goal blocked by Jalen Carter, who famously excels at destroying drives. Hurts then put on his cape and took over the game with his arms, something many dipshits say he can't do, converting 3 third downs and a fourth down, shout out to AJ Brown, touchdown pass to Devonta Smith to give Philly a 1-point lead with 1:48 left. But because Philly's 2-point conversion was no good, all LA needed was a field goal. Stafford unsurprisingly got LA into field goal range for a game-winning 44-yard attempt, but Jordan Davis, motivated by Jalen Hurts' smoldering handsomeness, blocked the kick and returned it for the game-sealing touchdown to win 33-26. Hero of the game goes to Jalen Hurts. Unsurprisingly, what a fucking stud he is, and a great football player who still gets zero respect. Shout out Jordan Davis, too. The biggest dumbass goes to Kevin Patullo. It took him 2.5 games with the most loaded roster in the league to stop calling plays like he's coaching 6-year-old Pop Warner kids. Buffalo versus Miami. Coming into this game, everybody expected a blowout, but Miami showed some surprising fight. They struck first on an Ollie Gordon touchdown run, whose name sounds like it could be the title of a 1950s TV show. But the Bills quickly responded thanks to James Cook's running and Josh Allen finding Dalton Kincaid for a score. Later on, Allen channeled Brett Favre, in a good way, with a snappy flip touchdown pass to Jackson Hawes to go up 14-7. Remember how New England built endless short white slot receivers in a lab during the Brady years? Well, that's what Buffalo is doing now for stocky white tight ends. Later in the second quarter, Matt Prater badly missed a 39-yard field goal. I mean, good lord, I hope that didn't hit and kill somebody in the stands. But the Gay Sharks kept fighting back with an impressive touchdown drive just before halftime to tie the game at 14. The Bills were unfazed, however, easily marching for another go-ahead touchdown by James Cook on their opening drive, the second half. The game entered a bit of a lull as the teams exchanged punts for a bit until the Fighting Dan Marinos tied the game back up on a touchdown pass from Tua Tagovailoa to 17-time Husband of the Year winner Tyreek Hill. Can you feel his women-respecting vibes oozing through your screen? I know I can. Miami's D forced a punt but negated all of their hard work by viciously roughing and potentially killing the Bills punter, as seen here in slow motion, giving Allen a second chance, which he took advantage of with an absolutely cum-inducing touchdown pass to Khalil Shakur, no relation to Tupac, I think. Down 7 with the ball, Tua got Miami to the Buffalo 21-yard line before he threw the ball to the wrong team. A back-breaking turnover. But the game wasn't over yet, folks. That would happen a couple plays later when Allen converted to 2nd and 16. The Bills then milked some clock before Prater made a 48-yard field goal to cement the 31-21 win. Hero of the game, Josh Allen. Big shocker, elite quarterback plays elite at home against a bad team. The biggest dumbass of the game, Zach Seiler. A good player, but in a game Miami needed to be perfect to win, his roughing the passer penalty was devastating. Buccaneers versus Jets. The game started slow with Chargers trainer attack survivor Tyrod Taylor at the helm for the Jets. The first quarter saw both teams exchange long field goal drives. Oh, so you're just going to throw the ball short of the sticks on 3rd and 14? Way to compete. Gross football. In terms of the best Ohio State wide receivers in the NFL right now, I would put Emeka Egbuka over Marvin Harrison Jr., even though he's only played 3 games. Oh, hey, look, Mike Evans caught another touchdown. He's still not as good as Devin Hester, though. New York went for it on 4th and 1 and got stopped. Why not do a tush push? It's literally cheating, right? A few drives later, Tyrod got strip sacked by Antoine Winfield Jr., but Tampa settled for a field goal to go up 13-6. 6. Then, with under 30 seconds left in the first half, Tyrod threw a beautiful 55-yard touchdown pass to Jamel Dean to put the Bucs up 20-6 at halftime. Tampa expanded that lead to 23-6 on a 9-minute field goal drive, which is kind of a cock tease, to be honest with you. You end up leaving me wanting more. Down 17 late in the third, on 4th and 12, Tyrod throws the ball 2 yards downfield. I don't know. All the anger that people have for the tush push needs to be directed at checkdowns instead. I've been saying this for years. But Tampa couldn't capitalize, and then Tyrod finally threw a touchdown to a player wearing the same uniform as him to cut it to 10 early in the fourth. Tampa kicked a 55-yard field goal, but nobody puts Tyrod in a corner. Dirty Dancing reference. He immediately led an impressive 73-yard drive, capped off by a 4th down touchdown pass to Alien Lizard to make it a 6-point game with 3:40 left. But Baker Mayfield pressed his activate sneaky athleticism button in his uniform and ripped off a 33-yard run to put Tampa in range for the game-sealing field goal. But, in a surprising twist, the Jets actually had something go their way, as Will McDonald blocked the field goal and returned it 50 yards for a touchdown to miraculously give the Jets a 1-point lead with 2 minutes left. That type of luck is only reserved for quarterbacks who were born on August 3rd, got drafted in the 6th round, and won a Super Bowl in their second season while primarily being known for quarterbacking AFC East teams. But tragedy always comes for the Jets, no matter what. As the good timeline outcome, Johnny Manziel took little time to move Tampa down the field for another field goal attempt, and this time there would be no blocked kick, and the Bucs would win 29-27 to improve to 3-0, becoming the first team in NFL history to win their division after just 3 games. Unbelievable. Hero of the game, Emeka Egbuka. Multiple huge catches, including on the game-winning drive. Looks to be a future superstar in the making. Biggest dumbass of the game, Tyrod Taylor. That horrible pick 6 just before halftime was inexcusable and was the difference in the final score. Chargers versus Broncos. The game started off as a bore fest as the two teams combined for just 3 points on their first 8 combined drives. Although Herbie fully horny threw a bad red zone interception in that span, nevertheless Herbert got going with 2 minutes left in the first half, leading a long drive capped off by an Omarion Hampton touchdown run to go up 10-0. In typical Bo Nix fashion, just when you think he stinks, he rips off a 52-yard bomb touchdown pass to get Denver back within 3 at halftime. Sean Payton then showed off his incredible offensive IQ by willing J.K. Dobbins to cover 66 yards on 3 plays, including a beautiful one-handed snag and yak that was technically ruled a touchdown run to give Denver a 14-10 lead. On Denver's ensuing kickoff, an LA player who won't be on the team next week fumbled the ball away, but AARP president Bo Nix threw a pass behind the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 8 deep in opponent territory. Pure pussy football, so Denver had to kick a field goal to go up 7. The Chargers got inside the Broncos 6 on his next drive but had to settle for a 24-yard field goal by Chinese kicker Cameron Dicker. After a few punts, Denver returned the favor by getting to LA's 5-yard line before kicking a field goal to make it 20-13. The Broncos D shut down Herbert, but penalties ruined Denver's chance to extend the lead on their next drive. Madison Alcohol's new boy toy got the ball back again with 5 minutes left and made an incredible touchdown pass to 180-year-old Keenan Allen to tie the game with 2:37 left. Denver's offense went 3 and out after Nix just missed Cortland Sutton by the length of an incel's dick on a deep pass. Fueled by his insatiable sex drive, Herbert methodically led LA on a game-winning field goal drive to win 23-20 and improve to 3-0. Here's a nice cameo of Sean Payton's trademark angry lesbian walk. Hero of the game, Madison Beer. Her magical box has seemingly taken Justin Herbert to another level, and now the Chargers have stopped choking away close games. For now. Biggest dumbass of the game, Sean Payton. Turns out it's easy to be an offensive guru when you have a top 8 quarterback of all time running your offense for 15 years. Packers versus Browns. If you want to know how bad this game was, realize I'm starting off by showing you a clip of a field goal from the beginning of the second quarter. Here's a clip of Mason Rudolph respecter Myles Garrett sacking Jordan Love. Somebody must have told Joe Flacco that Raheem Moore was in the Packers secondary, so he launched this interception. And even funnier yet is that the Packers defensive back was too dumb to realize Green Bay would have gotten the ball back near midfield if he just knocked it down, but knockdowns don't get you paid. Interceptions get you paid, so I understand. Finally, late in the third, Love threw a touchdown pass to John Fitzpatrick, a name that is so Irish I can literally smell the alcohol through my computer screen right now, and I think I'm getting drunk. This put Green Bay up 10-0, by the way. Here's a clip of Love getting wrecked on 3rd and 1. Should have done the tush push. Finally, on their 8th drive of the game with only 4 minutes left, Cleveland got on the board with a field goal to make it 10-3. Then, the key play of the game happened. Packers' Jeff Garcia threw a horrific interception deep in Packers territory, giving Cleveland the ball at the Packers' 4-yard line, and not even washed Flacco was bad enough to not capitalize on that, as Quinshon Judkins, yes, he's black, punched it in to make it 10-10 with 3 minutes left. After Josh Jacobs nearly fumbled the ball away, Green Bay got in range to kick a 43-yard field goal, but Brandon McManus' kick was blocked as karma for all the female flight attendants he's terrorized over the years. Flacco then heroically completed 2 passes, totaling 11 yards, to set up Cleveland's 55-yard game-winning field goal attempt, which Andre Schmidt, whatever, these names are so fucking confusing. I'm not smart enough for this. Made it to give the Browns an improbable win over Green Bay. You normally don't see the Packers choke like this until January, folks. Hero of the game, Shelby Harris. Harris made the most impactful play of the game for the winning team with his field goal block. Biggest dumbass of the game, Jordan Love. At this point, he's much closer to being Dak Prescott than he is Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers. Although, to be fair, that late interception was very Favre-like. 49ers versus Cardinals. This lovely contest began with a guy who gets paid millions to kick a football through the uprights, not kicking the football through the uprights. Faced with 3rd and 10 deep in 49er territory, Kyler Murray heroically threw the ball 10 yards short of the sticks and settled for a field goal. But not to be outdone, Mac Jones threw the ball even shorter of the first down line on 3rd and 15 to tie the game at 3. Another field goal gave the 49ers a 6-3 halftime lead, while Marvin Harrison Jr.'s struggles continued. Later that same drive, Kyler was once again betrayed by his running back, dropping what might have been a walk-in touchdown, so the Cardinals had to settle for a game-tying field goal. McCorkle Jones led San Fran all the way to the Arizona 1-yard line, but instead of doing the tush push, which I'm told is a cheat code, on 4th and 1 he decided to throw a dumb pass behind the line of scrimmage to "I'll have her home by 8 o'clock, sir," looking ass Christian McCaffrey. After San Fran got screwed out of a safety, Jones found emerging stud Ricky Pearsall on a shot play. No offense. Then, a couple plays later, we finally had our first touchdown of the game when Jones connected with 3-time first-team All-Pro, as many as Tom Brady, by the way, and less yours, Kyle Juszczyk to go up 13-6. Marvin Harrison Jr. actually caught a deep ball on Arizona's next drive, which, combined with the 33-yard defensive pass interference penalty that could have been a touchdown if Harrison didn't have another drop, put Arizona at the San Fran 1, where Kyler found Trey, I think everybody should be allowed to say it, McBride, to tie the game at Karl Malone to Karl Malone. Mac Jones threw an interception and gave up a safety on San Fran's next 2 possessions, but this isn't surprising because history tells us he's not the guy you want when you need a responsible drive. Fortunately for Jones and San Fran, Arizona's receivers love dropping passes, so Jones got one more chance down 2, and after completing a heroic 20-yard screen pass to the recently deceased Christian McCaffrey, the 49ers kicked the game-winning 35-yard field goal to win 16-15 and improve to 3-0. However, they did lose Turning Point USA enthusiast Nick Bosa for the season to a torn ACL. Hero of the game, Ricky Pearsall. No offense to Brian Robinson, but on this day, Pearsall was by far the best gunshot survivor on the 49ers roster. The biggest dumbass of the game, Marvin Harrison Jr. I realize Kyler Murray isn't great, but he has given Harrison Jr. some good throws that Jr. has just flat out dropped. This is not the start many envisioned for him coming out of Ohio State. Steelers versus Patriots. The Pats got the ball first and immediately fumbled the ball away, an omen of what was to come. The Steelers capitalized off the short field with a touchdown run by Kenneth Gainwell to go up 7-0. Aaron Rodgers was sharp early on, expanding Pittsburgh's lead to 14-0 on a dime touchdown pass to DK Metcalf. This play had historical significance too, as it was the 509th regular season touchdown pass of Rodgers' career, officially moving him past famous women's college volleyball court bankroller Brett Favre for 4th on the all-time list. The Patriots finally got on the board on their next drive with a Drake May touchdown pass to Hunter Henry. The Pats even went for it on 4th and 1 on their own 15, and they converted. Mike Vrabel, you sly dog. Unfortunately for the Patriots, that boldness did not pay off in the end, as their 17-play, 92-yard drive ended with May throwing a terrible end zone interception. To open the third, Rodgers threw one of the worst interceptions of his career, which set up New England at Pittsburgh's 11-yard line. Surely New England would score points this time. Nope. Ramondre Stevenson fumbled the ball away again in the end zone. On New England's next drive, with the score still the same, Antonio Gibson showed solidarity with his teammate by fumbling the ball away again. But Pittsburgh continued to do jack squat with all these turnovers, and the Patriots finally tied the game at 14 early in the fourth on another May Henry connection. After Pittsburgh's fifth straight drive without any points, the Patriots were in prime position to take the lead, but May got strip sacked in field goal position, and it was recovered by TJ Watt. Finally, Rodgers did something as he threw a gorgeous back shoulder touchdown pass to Calvin Austin to put Pittsburgh up 21-14 with 2 minutes left. But the game was not over as Drake May moved the offense to the Pittsburgh 28-yard line, but on 4th and 1, he threw the ball short of the sticks, resulting in a turnover on downs to seal the Steelers' win. Again, and I keep asking this, why not just do the tush push if it's cheating and it's so automatic? Nobody can ever answer me on this. Hero of the game, Mike Tomlin. Using just sheer will, Tomlin makes these bullshit wins a reality. Biggest dumbass of the game, Ramondre Stevenson. He now has more fumbles than touchdowns over the last 2 seasons. Tough scene. Jacksonville versus Houston. The guy in this clip makes $5.3 million a year to make field goals. Isn't that ironic? Jacksonville struck first with a touchdown drive, capped off by a Basul Tootin run to go up 7-0. CJ Stroud's regression continues, missing throws in the red zone, which caused Houston to settle for chip shot field goals instead of touchdowns. After more terrible play by both teams, Trevor Trubisky led Jacksonville on a field goal drive to make it 10-3. Jacksonville could have taken a 13-3 lead, but Mr. I can make 70-yard field goals in meaningless games, Cam Little, couldn't make this 47-yard field goal. Don't worry though, Jags fans, because Stroud then threw a horrible interception intended for Christian Kirk in the Jacksonville red zone. Goes without saying that it's been a pretty rough month for Christian Kirks. The teams exchanged punts, then Lawrence told Stroud, "You merely adopted being ass. I was born in it," before throwing a brutal interception of his own. Finally, Stroud made a good play, finding Nico Collins on a 50-yard touchdown to tie the game at 10 with 9 minutes left. Jacksonville turned it over on downs, then deep in field goal territory, Nico Collins farted the ball out of his hands, giving Jacksonville yet another chance to steal the game, which they did, as Lawrence found Brian Thomas Jr. on a 46-yard gain before Travis Etienne ran in a touchdown against give-up defense to give Jacksonville a 7-point lead with 1:48 left. In a game this bad, even the touchdowns are forfeits. Houston had one last chance to either tie or win the game, but Stroud was hit as he threw the ball, resulting in a game-losing interception, improving Jacksonville to 2-1, but dropping Houston to 0-3. Hero of the game? Nobody. Biggest dumbass of the game, CJ Stroud. Over his last 14 regular season games, he has 12 touchdowns to 14 turnovers with a 5-9 record. Gross. Chicago versus Dallas. Following a Dallas fumble, the gayest straight man of all time, Caleb Williams, threw a seed to put Chicago up 7-0. Dak Prescott would answer with a field goal, but Caleb responded by making one of the most insane throws ever made on a flea flicker touchdown, put Chicago up 14-3 early. Dallas would fight back though, ripping off 11 unanswered points, including a smooth one-handed touchdown grab by George Pickens to tie the game at 14, but their levity was short-lived. Williams was on a heater all day, and the Bears answered back with 10 straight points to take a 24-14 halftime lead. Coming out of USC, I compared Williams to Aaron Rodgers, and games like this are why. His 4th touchdown pass of the game was a great throw on the run on 4th down to go up 31-14 entering the 4th. Down 3 scores in the 4th is usually when Dak does his best stat padding, but on this day he couldn't even do that, throwing 2 fourth-quarter interceptions. It was so bad that he got benched for Joe Milton on Dallas's final drive, but not even Milton's godlike arm talent could avoid the rancid culture of Jerry World as he threw a laughable end zone interception to end the game. Hero of the game, no surprise, Caleb Williams, 10.6 yards per attempt, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. There is reason for caution, as this same Dallas defense just made a washed-up Russell Wilson look like the GOAT a week ago. Biggest dumbass of the game, Gerald Jones. As an Eagles fan, I hope Jerry discovers some new technology that allows him to live forever. The Colts versus the Tits. After winning the Week 1 and Week 2 Super Bowl championships, Indy's quest for a three-peat started off great, as Kenny Moore pick-sixed Cam Ward to go up 7-0 in the first 50 seconds. The teams exchanged field goals to make it 10-3 Indy, but the Daniel Jones-led Colts offense continues to be inexplicably dominant. dominant, scoring a touchdown to go up 17-3. The Titans trimmed that to 17-6 before the teams combined for 3 straight missed field goals. Folks, I haven't seen that many missed threes in such a short span since Steph Curry in the fourth quarter in Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals. Indy would finally end the suffering with a field goal to take a 26 halftime lead. Then they began to pull away in the third as Jones found Michael Pittman for a touchdown to go up 27-6. The Titans responded with a touchdown of their own to make it 27-13, letting the Colts know that they might beat them by 20, but they're damn sure not beating them by 30. Tennessee then immediately gave up a 46-yard touchdown run by Jonathan Taylor Swift. Cam Ward really needs to study some Tom Brady film to improve his defensive abilities. Ward then said, "I'm leaving this bitch with something," as he threw a garbage time touchdown on 4th and goal to temporarily make it a 14-point game again, but that lasted about as long as I would in bed with a beautiful woman, as Taylor scored another touchdown run to give Indy a 41-20 edge, which was also the final score. Hero of the game, Shane Steichen. In a society where Nazi accusations are thrown around more than ever before, it's nice we can all agree there's at least one SS doing a great job. The biggest dumbass of the game, Brian Callahan. Through 20 games as head coach, he's 3-17. He is clearly in over his head. Chiefs versus Giants. In a surprise to nobody, both teams struggled to score for most of the game. We expect that with the Giants, last week notwithstanding, but it's still jarring to watch a team with prime Patrick Mahomes struggle to put up points. While both offenses were bad, KC's was slightly less dog shit, resulting in several field goals to go up 6-0, while Russell Wilson looked like a 15-year-old dog practically begging to be put down. The only good thing to come out of this game offensively was Cam Scatterbo, a 100% sneaky athlete. He scored New York's only touchdown, which tied the game 6-6 late in the first half. Yes, the Giants missed the extra point. Mahomes' best play of the game was unironically him throwing the ball backwards, chasing after it, and stealing it back from the defender. That's what Matt Nagy-led offenses look like, folks. Russ threw a terrible end zone interception, but it wasn't his worst end zone interception ever, I can tell you that. And thanks to a 52-yard YOLO defensive pass interference throw from Mahomes, KC got a chip shot field goal to take a 9-6 halftime lead. The Chiefs' opening drive in the second half was the only time all game they really looked like vintage Chiefs. It ended with Mahomes throwing a dime to emerging wide receiver Tyquan Thornton to go up 16-6. The Giants cut the lead to 16-9 early in the fourth, but the Mahomes-Thornton connection thrived again, setting up a 1-yard touchdown run by class act Kareem Hunt to make it 22-9 with 6 minutes left. After a gorgeous 25-yard throw on 4th down to get New York to the KC 4-yard line, Russell Wilson died. Well, not literally died, but he effectively died. His career died, or at least it seems so, as he inexplicably threw the ball out of the end zone several times to turn the ball back over. This was almost certainly Wilson's last start of his NFL career, barring injury to a guy like Jackson Dart or Jameis Winston. Speaking of Jackson Dart, that era should begin next week. Hero of the game, Tyquan Thornton. KC needed somebody to step up for Mahomes, and Thornton looks to be the guy. Biggest dumbass of the game, Brian Daboll. But don't worry, Brian, once you're inevitably fired, you will always have a career as a Larry the Cable Guy impersonator waiting for you. Washington versus Las Vegas. Oh no! Without top 5 quarterback Jaden Daniels, there's no way Washington is going to win this game. Oh wait, here's 360-pound fat-ass Deebo Samuel returning the opening kickoff 69 yards. Then a few plays later, draft bust Marcus Mariota ran in for a touchdown. Vegas kicked a field goal, then Washington did their best to give Vegas a chance as Mariota lost the fumble, and then Matt Gay missed a 37-yard field goal. Not very often you see a Gay lean too far to the right, especially in DC. Washington did eventually go up 10-3 before Geno Smith threw a touchdown to tie it at 10. The tie quite literally didn't even last 50 seconds as Washington ripped off a 60-yard touchdown run to go up 17-10. After kicking a field goal to make it 20-10 at halftime, Washington kept expanding their lead with a punt return touchdown by Jalen Lane to go up 27-10. Even with Vegas begging Washington to stop, Washington unzipped their metaphorical pants and violated them even harder, going up 34-10 on another touchdown run. Down 24 in the fourth, Geno put on a stat padding masterclass that would even make Dak Prescott blush, throwing 2 touchdown passes with a failed 4th and 1, tush push anybody, sandwiched in between. With the lead cut to 34-24, Washington put the finishing touches on with a 43-yard Mariota touchdown pass. Christian McCaffrey's also handsome younger brother Luke, who I'm sure would be happy to show your daughter a good time. Respectfully, of course. Washington won 41-24, scoring more points in this game than in their 2 games with Jaden Daniels combined. All the Washington fans who said said Jalen Hurts was a system quarterback and replaceable, it looks like the call is coming from inside the house. Hero of the game, Jalen Lane. Lane's punt return touchdown that really broke the game open. Biggest dumbass of the game, Tom Brady. The alleged quote-unquote GOAT and Vegas minority owner stupidly forgot to send his team's players inspirational text messages to ensure they wouldn't lose. Panthers versus Falcons. I truly did not see this one coming. Atlanta's first drive ended with a missed field goal after somebody in the stands farted so violently it caused the ball to speed off course. This wasn't Bryce Young's best game, low bar, admittedly, and he got a lot of help, but he also took advantage of Atlanta's mistakes, including scrambling for a touchdown to go up 7-0. Atlanta would quickly find out after the second missed field goal of the first quarter that putting your trust in a player with the last name Romo is a fool's errand. In the meantime, Carolina expanded the lead to 10-0 at halftime, but the play of the game was when Michael Penix Jr. threw a brutal pick six to give Carolina a 17-0 lead. Oh, don't worry, it got worse. Carolina went up 20-0, then Penix had another brutal interception, this time to Carolina defensive back Michael Jackson, who returned it 54 yards. Sadly, this wasn't the first time an inexperienced young man had his balls taken advantage of by Michael Jackson. Sick fuck. Carolina went up 27-0, then Kirk Cousins was brought out of the morgue to make a couple short throws. That's right, Kirk, you pad those career numbers. Good for you. Anyway, Carolina won 30-0. Hero of the game, Chau Smith-Wade. By default, I'll give it to the guy who made the most impactful play of the game, put Carolina up big. The biggest dumbass of the game, Michael Penix Jr. This performance came out of nowhere in the worst way imaginable. This game made me think his potential maybe isn't as great as I once thought. Seattle versus New Orleans. The game started with the score at 0-0, but it didn't stay that way very long. Before you could blink, Sam Darnold threw a touchdown, Seattle returned a punt for a touchdown, and blocked a punt which set up a short field touchdown to go up 21-0. Poor Spencer Rattler. The Saints got on the board with a field goal to make it 21-3, but the carnage continued on. Darnold threw a dime for a touchdown to go up 28-3, but don't worry, Rattler doesn't have Brady's black magic or Gisele Bündchen. So Seattle quickly made the game 35-3, and let me tell you folks, 1992 Frank Reich isn't walking out of that door. The Saints kicked a field goal down 32 and missed, which is basically karma. Seattle made a field goal to make it 38-3, then the Saints kicked a field goal again just before halftime to make it 38-6. Not to be outdone, Seattle kicked two more field goals to make it 44-6 before Rattler threw a clutch touchdown pass to cut the lead down to 31. Rattler would then throw an interception, but the entire fourth quarter in this game was garbage time. New Orleans' second-round quarterback pick this season, Tyler Shuck, made his NFL debut and promptly went 0 for 2 for 0 yards. Hero of the game, Sam Darnold. So far this year, Darnold is showing his 2024 season with Minnesota was not a fluke. The biggest dumbass of the game, the entire Saints organization. The front office spat in the face of the salary cap to go all in for Breeze's last couple seasons. Now they're in cap hell with little talent and zero reason for hope. Vikings versus Bengals. With Joe Burrow out for at least 3 months with chronic explosive diarrhea, it's kinda not fair that Cincy's first test would be against a team led by Super Bowl champion quarterback and 2017 second-team All-Pro Carson Wentz, who calmly walked Cincy's D down on the opening drive with a touchdown to kick off a historic ass-kicking. Jake Browning has been mostly competent thus far in his career, but that was not the case in this game. He threw a pick six to Isaiah Rodgers, the teams exchanged field goals, then Cincy saw how badly New Orleans was getting skull-fucked and said, "Game on, pal." Noah Fant had his manhood taken away by Rodgers, who scored his second defensive touchdown in the first half to put Minnesota up 21. Then Jamar Chase fumbled out of depression by missing Burrow, which ended in another Minnesota touchdown, but oh no, my friends, the suffering was not done yet. Down 31-3 with 28 seconds left in the half, instead of taking a knee and licking their wounds, Cincy fumbled again, which helped give Minnesota a chip shot field goal to make the halftime score 34-3. Minnesota quickly expanded their lead to 41-3. With the game lost, Browning began thinking about his wife's super huge boobs and awesome figure in the pocket, which unsurprisingly ended with him throwing another interception. Wentz then threw his second touchdown to make it 48-3 with 1 quarter still to play. After this dominant performance by Wentz, I'm hearing J.J. McCarthy's ankle sprain will keep him out for at least the next 5 seasons. Hero of the game, Isaiah Rodgers. 2 defensive touchdown returns in 1 half to set the tone. Biggest dumbass of the game, take your pick. Pick anybody involved with the Cincinnati Bengals organization. Lions versus Ravens. This battle between 2 heavyweights didn't disappoint. Jared Goff came out serious, leading Detroit to a quick touchdown and 7-0 lead, but the Hall of Fame Fame combo of Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry showed out as well, evening the score back at 7-7 quickly. The Lions were unfazed, running the ball right down Baltimore's throat for another easy score to go back up 14-7. After getting deep into Lions territory, Lamar and the Ravens blinked first, fumbling on 4th and goal from the 2. Perhaps a tush push would have done the job. Lamar would atone for his mistake, throwing dimes and a touchdown pass to Rashad Bateman to deadlock the score at 14. Look, man, if you're gonna miss a 67-yard field goal, at least make sure it's close. You're scaring the hose, alright? In the third quarter, Bills legend Mark Andrews remembered he's good and made several great catches, including a touchdown to give Baltimore a 21-14 lead. Ben Johnson might be gone, but the Lions' trickery bullshit continues. A beautiful throw by Goff gave the Lions another touchdown to tie the game at 21. David Montgomery had the game of his life, rushing for 151 yards on 12.6 yards per attempt, including a huge 72-yard run in the fourth to set up Detroit's clever fourth down touchdown run. Lamar got Baltimore into Lions territory, but the drive stalled out and Baltimore had to settle for a field goal to cut it to 4. Here's Goff showing that he does not, in fact, have sneaky athleticism. Down 4 with 8 minutes left at home, Derrick Henry had his second monumental fourth quarter fumble in 3 weeks. But the Lions had to settle for a field goal. Still down just 7 with 5 minutes left, Lamar had a chance to prove he's as clutch as Jalen Hurts, but failed. Detroit then wasted no time converting a fourth down and then scored a touchdown to go up 14 with 2 minutes left. Realizing that stats help you get paid, Lamar threw a meaningless touchdown to Andrews, which was followed by a failed onside kick to seal the 38-30 win for the Lions. Hero of the game, Dan Campbell. Perhaps it really was Dan Campbell all along. Biggest dumbass of the game, Derrick Henry. When you commit 2 crucial fumbles in the fourth quarter in a 3-game span, are the biggest reason why Baltimore is 1-2 instead of 3-0